believe it or not, the final week of the regular season has arrived. Number 13, East Carolina, playing for a conference tournament title. Rice playing for its tournament lives in the AAC as Cliff Godwin dives into a huge weekend of college baseball. Here in the heart of Greenville, North Carolina, tournament implications, postseason matchups, and a great start to this weekend set with Mike Mullis. I'm EvanBudrovich. Mike, for East Carolina, it's pretty simple. Sweep the series. They win the regular season. For Rice, need a win and some help. How do these teams play their best baseball?
Man, a lot to be played for today. And obviously in Greenville, North Carolina, it's Trey Day. Trey Savage taking the ball. And expect quite a fight today. That Rice Owls have it going the right direction. East Carolina's kind of trying to stop the struggles. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Rice's offense has picked up at the right time. 2 huge series wins in a row, including Pierce Gallo, who hits in the middle of this lineup. Not only a huge home run threat, but a nice end to his senior year.
Yeah, you know, Gallo kind of embodies what the Rice Owls have done in the second half or maybe last third of the season. Really got some things figured out, and he's been a huge catalyst for all that.
So Gallo, 9 hits in his last 4 games, big-time power threat. East Carolina counters with arguably the best player in the AAC, Carter Cunningham, who leads the conference in some crazy numbers. Batting average, slugging, on base, and now at 400 throughout the year. What a consistent threat in the leadoff
You know,
spot.
arguably, and it's a short argument, but I think you're right, best player in the conference without a question. And, again, consistent effort, hovered at that number all year, and he's been more than impressive.
East Carolina and Rice right in the thick of the AAC. Top 8 get into the tournament. So if you're FAU through Memphis, it's all hands on deck the next 3 days.
Yeah, not a ton of games left to play, obviously, with it being the last weekend series, but a lot yet to be decided for all these teams.
Only 4 teams have guaranteed their spot, which means we got a fun weekend on tap. East Carolina, they're in the tournament. Let's see where they finish. Trey Savage and crew take the hill when we return. One of the most dominant arms in college baseball gets the ball today for Cliff Godwin. That's Trey Savage, who now leads all of college baseball with a 3 wins above replacement. The numbers are a little bonkers when you think about it. Second in the country in wins with 10, elite ERA, high strikeout numbers. Mike, what is the greatest strength of Trey Savage?
Number 1, confidence. Number 2, competitiveness. Number 3, the splitty. That's a filthy pitch, and one that he's described as arguably the best pitch in the country. Trey Savage has been special to watch this year. Again, Fridays or game ones, I guess we're playing on a Thursday, but game ones around here known as Trey Day. And, coming off a loss, Ev, and last time he did that, he was more than dominant with about 13 strikeouts. So we'll see if he can repeat that and get these Pirates back on track.
Trey with a rare loss at Tulane, his last loss in over a year. And Rice, this lineup brought to you by Grady White Boats. Big power production in a win at Texas Southern. 16 runs. Jack Rydell, the home run leader in this league. Not a powerful Rice lineup, but much better on the stolen base department.
Yeah, they don't hit a ton of balls out of the park. 38 home runs as a team this year, but we'll be aggressive on the pass and look to put a lot of pressure on the opposing team's defense.
East Carolina behind Savage has been really good defensively. 24th in the country in fielding. Riley Johnson, the starting center fielder, is back from a shoulder injury. And a defense that fields it at a 980 clip. Really good on that side. As we get things started here in Game 1, Thursday and a Friday doubleheader with weather coming Saturday. Pretty simple for the Pirates. Win 3, and you are the regular season champs. For a Rice standpoint, win the series and you're in a great spot, but win 1 and you need some help from programs like USF and Charlotte and FAU, all knotted up with 11 conference wins. There's Jacob DeVinny taking strike 1. Jacob, who in his sophomore year has excelled here in the conference, .310 average against AAC opponents. You asked this coaching staff led by Jose Cruz, who spent a decade in the big leagues, and he said it's a level of toughness that's earned DeVinny some great at-bats this year.
Yeah, top to bottom, that's what they look for out of this club. And again, as of late, man, they have really put together some good games and a good series, and a lot of it has started with their offensive production.
To your point, 12 RBI in his last 16 games, and has reached base in 30 of his last 32. Earned that leadoff role in the last month, and Rice has flourished because of it. Now chops one on the ground to Joey Barini. He's there for the first down.
And you can see there the two-strike thought process that you'll see throughout this Rice lineup with DeVinny. Just put it in play and count on his speed to make it reasonably close over first base. Obviously not a ball hit very hard, but I mean, he's getting it down the line. And again, this Rice team's got an awful lot to play for. I think you're going to see max effort out of them all weekend.
Rice has turned the corner. Started the year 9-24. They were 1-8 in the conference, left for last place, but here they are now essentially tied for 5th in this logjam of the AAC. This is the senior Ben Dukes, the Houston product, homegrown native, working a 2-0 count.
You know, pretty neat story. He was a self-described 40th man on a 40-man roster, kind of a third-string bullpen catcher, and fought his way into the lineup, found his way into center field, and man, they really like the tough ABs he gives them as Savage sneaks one by him there. But a guy that's kind of a dirtbag and maybe a little throwback kind of look, much like we see with Riley Johnson.
Savage on 2-1 challenges Dukes with fastball. Trey coming off his worst start of the year by numbers in a Pirate uniform. 5 runs allowed, the loss at Tulane. Now he looks to snap a 5-game losing streak for his club, and that one's fouled off. You don't say 5-game losing streaks around here often, no, Mike, which makes this series very important.
Yeah, it is. They're trying to get this thing turned back around, and I mean, there's nobody they have any more confidence in than Trey Savage.
The 10-win starter, Savage, goes to his patented split finger. And there's the second out with the third baseman, Dixon Williams.
Nice play here by Dixon. A little bit of a modified shift, nothing crazy, but does a nice job to get to that ball and get it across to his buddy Cunningham over at first base to record the Dukes out.
Too quickly gone by for Trayton Rank, the first baseman. And he's out in front. Rank, who is having an amazing end to his season. A junior with 8 hits in his last series. A huge FAU series win. That gives Rice the tiebreaker as you start looking at some of the standings here late. And he's now 5th in this conference, 23 RBI in league play. He's late on the fastball.
You know, the Pirate bullpen and pitching staff injuries and issues have been well documented around Greenville, and they're really looking for Trey Savage to get deep in this game.
He works a quick first inning. The strikeout leader in the American Athletic Conference, K133 for you, Savage. Pretty efficient for the nation's starting leader in wins. 3 up, 3 down. Junior right-hander Parker Smith gets the ball for Rice. He has worked 5 innings or more in his last 7 starts in the AAC, a All-CUSA arm from a year ago. One note with Smith, he talked to this coaching staff, much improved slider changeup combo. He'll look to keep these hitters off balance tonight.
You know, kind of an interesting thing in talking with their staff is the fact that these guys are still adding pitches. There's a couple guys that have maybe found the changeup, found a grip for a breaking ball that they didn't previously have, and all that goes to the fact that this Rice team just continues to improve as the season goes along.
So Parker Smith faces an East Carolina lineup presented by Grady White Boats. A little different in how it's structured. Riley Johnson, an elite leadoff man, moves to the 2 spot. You see Carter Cunningham now in the leadoff role, and Jacob Jenkins-Coward drops to the 5 spot.
Yeah, you know, I think some of that has to do with the Riley Johnson injuries, you know, the shoulders and maybe his ability to get off a full swing. Not saying that it's not something that he can do, but I would fully expect that if Carter Cunningham is to get on, we would see Riley Johnson in a situation to bunt and not put that pressure on those injured shoulders.
Here's your first look at a surefire player of the year in the American Athletic, junior Carter Cunningham, who has the best WAR of any player in this league at .397. That's almost 4 wins above the average player in college baseball. Hits in 12 of his last 13 games, coming on strong in year 3. Parker Smith dots it up well for strike 1.
Yeah, pretty good pitch there. Kind of started on the inner black and works back over the plate. A little arm side action at 92.
Parker Smith is working up a big-time sweat early in this first inning against an offense. And Cunningham now up in the 1 spot. And he's top 20 in the country in batting average and on base.
You know, the other advantage of getting Cunningham into the 1 hole, not that it's much different from him being in the 2 hole, is that just a couple extra at-bats every year, you know, or through the course of the season or the rest of the season. So, yeah, such a dangerous guy in that leadoff spot.
He takes strike 3. Good pitch there for Smith for the punch-out.
Yeah, another really good fastball in, and you see it just kind of work back over the plate and freezes Cunningham. Take a look at it here. This is a really, really quality pitch. And, again, looks like it's going to be just off. Last second kind of dives back towards the heart of the plate. Really good fastball.
Worth noting with Smith, his splits are counterintuitive. Lefties are hitting only 230. Righties are hitting close to 270. And this coaching staff claiming that 2-seam fastball changeup combo has been really good against lefties.
You see the umpire there asking McChrystal to scoot back. He was all the way down just about behind home plate trying to get a extra look there at the pitcher Smith. But, yeah, you know, you could see it there, Evan, with the action that fastball has on it. Again, it looks like it's going to be just off in on the lefty and just finds a way to work back to the plate.
That ball hits the foot of Riley Johnson, who's already battling a shoulder injury.
You know, a guy that's been such a warrior all year here, and he, you know, squares around a bunt, kind of like we thought we might see out of him. And This ball just gets away down and catches him right on the knuckle of the big toe there. That's one of those things. There's not a whole lot of shoe there. You know, it's kind of skin right underneath that leather. So just what he needed was another ding.
Maybe the one player in this Pirate lineup you don't want to see get hurt if you're Cliff Godwin.
He's been such a catalyst for this offense, and you know, we're talking about it because we're playing offense, but the amazing job he's done in center field doesn't. I mean, I don't know which one's more impressive, but he has been the spark plug for this Pirate team all year.
Reached base now in 48 straight games, which is hard to fathom with that hit by pitch. He missed game 3 against Tulane over the weekend, but is back in the lineup today. So with all those changes, Ryan McChrystal, the DH, jumps into the 3 spot. McChrystal's been a bright spot in conference, .330 average against AAC foes, fresh off a 4-hit weekend at Tulane.
You know, McChrystal's been a guy that has kind of had ups and downs all year, and actually in his time here at East Carolina. But when he gets it going, he's a guy that you really have to circle the lineup to make sure, you know, he's one of those guys you don't want to let beat you. But, you know, quite frankly, this Pirate lineup, when they've got it going, that's kind of the case top to bottom.
Smith challenges McChrystal, who's one of 6 starters in Cliff Godwin's lineup, hitting .300 or better entering tonight. We've noted the top 5 pitching staff by ERA. This offense not too shabby either. Top 20 in scoring and on base.
Kind of interesting. Rice is in a very extreme shift with the third baseman literally playing even pinched middle with where the shortstop would be, leaving the left side of the infield completely open.
Smith delivers. McChrystal crushes one to right, and it stays in the yard. A long out for Correa.
Yeah, with the change in the breeze today, it's going to be a little tougher to get one out of here. It's certainly not a gale wind, but just enough to knock it down a little bit. But Crystal gets pretty decent barrel on that, but not quite enough to do any damage.
Here's Rice defensively, and keep an eye on this middle infield tandem. Rydell and Gallo have turned 56 double plays. Them in Michigan, the top 2 in the country. That's a really good fielding infield.
Rydell, a guy that hasn't been playing shortstop but about 20-25 games and has really kind of figured it out, been really sure-handed there. Not necessarily the rangiest guy, but if it's hit near him, they really like his chances. And like you said, they've been very proficient in turning the double play.
Speaking of middle infielders, here's Jacob Starling, who in his last month since returning from an oblique injury, hitting close to .350 in the middle of Cliff Godwin's order. He's late that time.
Yeah, actually, I think it was a little bit in front of that. That was an 83-mile-an-hour, maybe a little pulled the string a little bit, but he was geared up for fastball, saw fastball, and got an off-speed offering. He took a mighty hack at it, though.
Riley Johnson on after the hit by pitch, now with 2 down. Starling rockets one to third. Motley recovers, and a nice play. A strong Rice infield takes care of it, and both teams scoreless through 1. We get a look at the home run leader of the AAC. Jack Rydell comes up when we return here to Greenville. What an up and down season for the Rice Owls. Started the year 9-24, but have turned the corner since 13-7. You talked to this coaching staff with Jose Cruz Jr. The offense has found its rhythm here late. And Mike, these are one of the teams, if you get to the top 8 in the AAC, you may not want to play next week.
No, they could get hot on you and have gotten hot, like you were saying, of late. And a lot of it, I mean, Rydell and Gallo, these guys have figured some things out. And, again, they've got some guys that had been playing previously out of position or maybe not even in the lineup that have found their way in that have been huge contributors, speaking specifically about Duke in center field.
And here is the wins leader in the AAC, Trey Savage, who has been a part of 3 run rule wins in the last 2 months, basically all in conference play. And now he faces the home run leader of this American Conference, Jack Rydell. Now a 2-2 count.
You know, Rydell's a guy they describe as having all the analytics measurables to be a home run guy, and he's kind of an all-or-nothing type stroke, but he's a guy that works at the right launch angle, has the right exit velocity, and all the things that the analytics dictate.
That time he chops it foul. Rydell with a home run over the weekend. Now the career home run leader at Rice, 25 bombs. Sorry, the active career leader. Not to be mistaken with Lance Berkman.
Yeah, he was a pretty good one.
Who had 72 home runs in a single season. The 2-2 beats him with a heat and a strikeout for Savage.
You know, I think that's an example there. Rydell may have been sitting on the featured pitch, which is the splitty, and Savage reaches back, grabs 94, and just throws it right by him.
The strikeout element of Savage's game has really developed. Here for now, the number 3 arm in strikeouts. Chase Burns gets a ton of the accolades, but Savage nearing 140 Ks.
And most impressively, only 24 walks.
This is an entire pitching staff under Coach Austin Knight. Elite K to walk ratio, nearly 5 Ks per walk. And now Nathan Becker looks to change those numbers. The senior who homered on Tuesday in his final home game. And as the folks in Greenville know, a unique batting stance, very Craig Counsell-esque.
Yeah, you know, but almost an aggressive Craig Counsell, right? Like he looks like he intends to do damage, and part of it is he's a solid young man, but he looks like there's some evil intent up there. He almost slow pitch softball kind of stance.
The 1-2, a daddy hack at that, fighting it off. Becker's had a hit in 5 straight games, now hitting .440 in the month of May. Something about those seniors playing their final months of college baseball. You get the best version. As Savage misses with a splitter.
I mean, it is very interesting to me watching him. It's going to be fun to watch him through the weekend. Becker, that is, with the high leg kick and the high hands and the real aggressive look. To only have 2 home runs is kind of it doesn't match up.
So here's the 2-2. And a very patient take. That's been an area that has improved for this Rice offense from the walk department. High stolen base in conference play, started 1-8 in the league. But as a lineup have totally flipped their approach in the last 2 months, and now in the playoff hunt entering today. And now a walk.
You know, to that point, when you have a head coach that has the big league time that Coach Cruz has and has had the success both on the stolen base side and the home run side as a member of the 30-30 club, and he's a guy that number one, he's going to have the ear of the players, right? I mean, he's been where they want to be, and not just a cup of coffee in the big leagues, but an extended big league career. But he's going to have the ability to make those kind of in-flight adjustments, which obviously Rice has done a great job of, as we've said several times already in the broadcast in the last half of the season.
Here is Pierce Gallo, who anchors those adjustments. And Jose Cruz, very candid this week, said after a month of conference, I put a message on the whiteboard and said, is this who we want to be offensively? Right. High strikeout numbers. We're hitting below 230 as a team. And he noted his seniors took that personally, including this man right here, Pierce Gallo, the second baseman. Rice has since won huge series over USF, a sweep, beat UTSA, who's in second place, and then most recently beat FAU. So a lot of the tiebreakers go Rice's way. Now the 0-1. You think about already today, Charlotte has taken down Tulane. So Charlotte at 12 and 13. If they win one more, in a great spot to clinch. That's kind of the story. Get to 13 wins, and you're getting into this tournament.
Yeah, then it largely comes down to who holds what tiebreakers, and that's where Rice has done a nice job, has put themselves kind of in the driver's seat of those that are beneath them from the tiebreaker standpoint. So, again, they need at least one here this weekend and would certainly love to win this series.
Good battle here from Gallo fighting it off.
Yeah, well, that's one of those things, that swing Gallo just took. It was, kind of borderline pitch. Wasn't going to be able to do a whole lot with it. But as you make your change and approach and you're thinking 2 strikes and I need to extend my AB, that's the kind of things you have to be able to do, at least get that pitch out of there.
Savage on 1-2. This is up. Gallo in his senior year has really stepped it up, especially on the defensive side. We talk a lot about his double plays. Now he looks to anchor this lineup. On 2-2, and works it full.
Yeah, really good at bat going here by Gallo and extending the pitches or number of pitches thrown by Savage. Savage not overly sharp to this point. We've seen him do this before. Then all of a sudden he finds it settles right in and is nearly unhittable.
The 3-2. Runners moving, perfectly placed. Gallo, the hit and run single. First and third here for the outs.
Yeah, that's the kind of confidence they have in Gallo. They put the runner in motion, almost a run and hit type deal. It's pretty much a straight steal there, and Gallo just handles it. That's just basically saying we have all the confidence in the world that Gallo's not going to strike out, and he's going to be able to put us a ball in play by moving the runner. You move the second baseman, and there you have it. Gallo with a nice piece of hitting.
And this is what makes Rice's offense so dangerous. Not a huge power team, only 46 home runs, but very good situationally. Here's Manny Garza, the starting catcher. Manny is a self-described energizer bunny when you talk to his coaching staff. Elite arm behind the plate. He's caught 11 runners stealing. But even on the offensive end, RBIs now in 4 straight. Really working the pitch count here of Savage.
Yeah, this is something you don't see often out of Trey Savage, is that these kind of non-competitive pitches that aren't right around the zone. He's up, he's down, he's, like I said, laboring a little bit to this point in his outing.
Now the 2-0. So those numbers say one story. How about his last 5 games, hitting .380 with 5 bombs for the junior catcher? That's a Rice team that's playing some great baseball here in the middle of May. Runners in motion again. Pop up sends Carter back. He makes the catch in front of the track, and the Owls strike first on the sac fly.
Yeah, really good at bat by Garza there. All he had to do was get a ball into the outfield. He caught Bristol Carter a little bit shallow and no chance to get behind that one. And nor would he have made a throw at the plate. But you'll see here, you just get Bristol drifting back a little bit and fires it in, keeps the runner off second base. Had a runner in motion there at the same time, and I was kind of thinking Coach Cruz with that pro mentality and a guy who'd like to run the bases probably is not going to stand around for too long, wants to push the action.
Here's Eric Correa with some attention over at first base. This is where Rice has stepped up the pressure. So in conference play, 24 steals in what's now 25 games. As a team, they only had 19 steals in the first 30 games. We've seen runners in motion a couple of times today, including a hit and run single.
I think it's of note already, Evan, if you look at that pitch counter, it's already at 41 pitches for Savage, and we're not even through the second.
Keep in mind the conference tournament begins in the middle of next week. So you don't necessarily get a full week's rest between this game and what would essentially be an elimination Game one, you want to get off to a 1-0 start in the conference tournament. Runner moving again. Nice pick, it's short, and what a tag.
Really good play out there in the middle. Good job by Wilcoxon to get rid of that quickly. Nice catch and tag to record the out.
Joey Barini shows off the leather, and Wilcoxon guns out this runner to end it. Welcome back to Greenville, where the host Pirate Club, 9 of their 13 losses by 1 run this year. This is a rarity, a 5-game losing streak for East Carolina. Mike, if they're going to maintain and get back to winning, what do you need to see today from ECU?
Man, your Savage is going to have to figure out a way to extend his outing, save some bullets down the bullpen. I mean, again, we've talked about it. It's well known that the pitching staff is pretty thin for the Pirates, but I mean that's what's got to happen. Is it's just going to be efficiency for the pitching staff.
Here is All-AAC candidate Jacob Jenkins Coward, the RBI leader now in the American Conference. 60 runs batted in.
I would expect to see them come back down and in with that little fastball that runs back. As I say, they set up down on the way.
Parker Smith rocking and rolling with a 1-0 lead. And this was the note on Smith. His first inning ERA was over 7. He's been much better as he goes deeper into the game.
There's a recurring theme here, Ev. Everything we say about this Rice team is just, and I don't think we could document it too much. Their improvement is really impressive.
Also, Parker Smith looks like he went to a sauna between innings. Really working a sweat out there on the bump.
I wonder if those are the uniforms by Fanatics.
I was just about to bring that up. Instead, Smith in a 2-1 count. Grinding his way through an elite offense, not by power numbers, but by difficult at-bats, on-base metrics. You see those brooms. Those are series sweeps for East Carolina. As Coward out in front of this pitch, pops it up. And a high first out.
Tell you what, you mentioned the brooms out there, and there are a few things that are guaranteed in this town, and one of those is that if there is a game going on here involving the Pirates, the Jungle Crew will be out here. They will be in full effect, and they will be loud and rowdy, having a good time with the left fielder for the opposing team, but certainly cheering on the Pirates.
That crowd has seen 23 home wins this year, and with a strong end of the season, a very good chance of hosting a regional for the number 13 team in the country. As now Dixon Williams steps in. He grew up in this town in Greenville, knows a lot about elite baseball.
Spent a lot of time in these stands for sure.
The Pirates, who were a 2 seed in Charlottesville last year, right now, by resume, have the position to host as there's a hit by pitch. Which also makes this final series so pivotal if you're a Resume or an ECU gearing into Selection Monday.
Yeah, you know, again, there's so much yet to be decided, and as obviously the East Carolina fans are thinking more on the regional host and more on kind of that level, and the Rice folks are going, hey, let's make sure we get into the conference tournament and let the chips fall where they may. And there's so many things that are going on around us in other conferences that'll have a tremendous bearing on kind of how all this shakes out as well.
Here's Justin Wilcoxon, the starting catcher, who grounds into what could be two. No one in the country does it better than the Rice Owls. Now a nation's leading 57 double plays. Wilcoxon grounds right into one to end the second. Welcome back to Greenville, where Jose Cruz Jr. brings a decade of big league experience. You kind of forget about that year in '97 when him and Nomar were going back and forth, but brings a big league pedigree, former Houston Astros assistant for a World Series club, and has certainly brought confidence in the second half of the year to this Rice team.
Yeah, what a pickup by Rice to hire a guy that has that pedigree and the communication skills, all the things that go with being a really good college head coach. He's kind of a total package, and a guy that again, he's going to have the year of the clubhouse, because obviously he has been and done what these guys all dream of doing.
Coach Cruz, he loves how his team responded after a tough start. We noted the 9-24 begin to the year. But that's the nature of 8 teams in a conference tournament. Rice currently in the tournament, but they need at least one win, maybe 2, to clinch it. As Trey Savage up to a high pitch count here, 43 and counting in the third inning.
Yeah, that's certainly alarming for the Pirate staff. And again, Trey just doesn't seem to have his best stuff, bouncing pitches, and just not overly competitive in the zone.
This is Eric Correa. There's something about the cursive Rice and the stirrup sock look. I am digging the old school look today.
They have certainly stuck to their tradition, and the look has been the same for as long as I can remember.
There's a strike into Correa. This is a Rice program that, of course, won the '03 national title. 7 trips to Omaha for the Owls. They're now looking to rewrite some of that history as Savage adds his 3rd K.
Yeah, and that's what the Pirates need from him. But fairly efficient at bat, 4 pitches there. Buries a couple good pitches. Correa helps him out just a little bit on the pitch before that one, but there's the splitty. Thing is filthy, and Correa, a little too much for Correa to handle.
What more can you say about an elite strikeout arm in Trey Savage as he gets Tobias Motley to swing through it? Has upped his strikeout totals by 40 in nearly the same number of innings for Savage. Now the junior, among starting pitchers, no arm with more wins than 10. Right now, though, it's the sac fly from Manny Garza, the difference.
It's really nice in college baseball on Friday night or on game 1 when you can send a guy to the mound and you feel like not only do we have a chance to win, but we really feel like we should win, and that's That's kind of how this Pirate club is built.
Wow, Savage has found his rhythm here. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, we've seen this out of Trey before where he may have struggles temporarily, but you know, historically he's found a way to settle in, and it looks like it's kind of the same story tonight. We'll see how he does as they flip the line on him. He heads back to the top.
Motley could not believe it. And a swing and a miss there from Jacob Duvinny. This is the Savage that had gone 5 straight starts with double-figure Ks. That streak was broken Friday at Tulane, and here he is mowing through hitters.
Yeah, that's one of those swings by Duvinny. He was absolutely sitting fastball, and all of a sudden that thing dives on it, tries to make an in-swing adjustment, and kind of makes him look bad.
That time a good piece with 2 strikes.
Yeah, very similar swing there as the one before. It just manages to catch a little bit of the bat.
Number 3 pitcher in college baseball in total Ks. Trey Savage forces weak contact. Cunningham the toss, and a close race at first.
And Savage has turned his ankle.
Wow, Trey Savage slow to get up.
Yep, he rolled his ankle. I saw him as he did it, kind of got the top of the bag.
We'll keep an eye on one of the best pitchers in college baseball. A collective gasp from Pirate Nation as their starter. Tough play at first to end the inning.
Be strong and of good courage. President JFK challenged us. We ascended to the stars, achieving what no one thought possible. Our commitment to excellence to do the impossible is made possible right here in Houston, Texas. We impact the world through innovative ideas and discoveries. We now embark on a new flight to prove that Rice Fight never dies. Rice Owls, let's fly.
Here's head coach Cliff Godwin, 4-time AAC Coach of the Year, and on the verge of his 5th straight 40-win season. For the East Carolina alum, his program looking to snap a 5-game losing streak today. And a big collective gasp for his starting pitcher, Trey Savage. Slow to get off the field after his last out recorded, but did hustle out to the dugout as we went to break. That's got to change your whole philosophy mentally when a play like that happens.
Yeah, that's one of those that'll turn your stomach upside down if you're a Pirate player or a fan.
So Bristol Carter leads things off, and he fights off an 0-2 count. The home faithful has seen dominance from Trey Savage in this park. We'll keep collective tabs on him next half inning. Now his offense to work here. 8-9-1. Carter pokes one in the air. Rank with room and a nice catch against the railing.
Yeah, plenty of support over there. He's going into his own dugout, and I'm sure everybody was vocal and letting him know he had plenty of room. But
a much different conversation from one side
the other
of the
way.
field.
That's right. So nice play there. And those are those outs you kind of feel like you have to collect those. You see him, actually, not a ton of support there from his guys.
I think it got to slide over, create the catching motion.
Make sure you keep him off the dugout floor. But
how many times do you see that in the big leagues where a guy catches and flips into his own dugout? Good news, Rank's okay. Now Joey Barini. So here's Parker Smith navigating through a little bit of trouble in the first, but otherwise unscathed. 2-2 record in the conference, 50 innings of work, and a 4-1 K to walk. He's been really efficient in AAC play.
I think it's pretty clear their pitching plan as it relates to facing this left-handed heavy lineup of the Pirates is that, again, that little fastball, kind of boring fastball that starts in on the lefties and eases back over the plate.
Rainey takes the 2-1 count.
You know, interesting, this is one of the few teams that we've seen East Carolina play that has almost as many left-handed hitters. Pirates run 7 out there, and I think Rice has 5 or 6 in the lineup today.
Yeah, 5 lefties and a switch hitter in Coach Cruz's lineup. Coach Godwin, very left-handed heavy, like you noted, just Starling and Barini. He's the switch hitter going from the left in this at-bat. And now a rare 3-1 count. And a full count is called by Rick Allen behind the plate. His crew with Rick Riley, Jimmy Paler, and Gary Keller working this final weekend of the year. What a beautiful day here in Greenville, North Carolina. Barini shoots one to left. And there's Deviney into the shade to make the catch.
That'll flip the order and bring Carter Cunningham back up. And this is always interesting when you flip the order, see if the pitcher has a little something else to show you that you haven't seen yet. And this is typically when this Pirate offense has also found a way to gear it up as they see the starting pitcher for the second time.
Cunningham, a strikeout victim, looking his first time up, and chops one off his front foot. Cunningham, who's in rarefied air, that 398 clip, it would be the 4th highest single season average in American athletic history. His former teammate Connor Norby holds the single season rank in this conference, a 415 average from 3 years ago.
Connor Norby with the Orioles. His brother Ethan is on the pitching staff here with the Pirates.
There's a possible base hit and just foul.
And I mean just foul. Yeah, that thing was as close as it could possibly be. I don't know if there was a foot of distance between the ball and the line. It was a tracer.
Watch this right at the end. And that's the right call. It bends foul.
Yep, sure does.
One of the few things slowing down Carter Cunningham this year.
You know, we said it a lot in the broadcast covering East Carolina. Carter Cunningham, when he gets to hitting the ball the other way, that's kind of when he gets, even more locked in.
The 0-2, this is down. For the batting average and on-base leader in this conference, and he's second in doubles behind Drew Butcher of South Florida. Putting together one of those seasons, you can see him easily winning Player of the Year in the AAC. Shows you why with a hard hit ball to center. That one poorly placed into the mitt of Ben Dukes. So, 3 innings of efficient work from Parker Smith, holding the Pirates in check through 3. A lot of eyes in college baseball keeping tabs on this last play to end the second inning. Trey Savage a little awkward on that finish on the base, and here he is back to work. Worth noting that plant foot could play a factor. Mike, what are you looking for as a coach as he gets back out to the mound?
Just, I mean, does he look the same? I mean, it's real simple. There's no real science to it. Just does he look the same? Where's his velocity? Just trying to kind of make sure that there's nothing that tells you he may be hurt. And a pitch like that will be of concern. It's sometimes some of these things are not necessarily the physical injury, but the mental concern of, if I plant like I normally plan and drive off this backside, is it going to hurt? So we'll keep a close eye on this for you, Savage.
Ben Dukes, who just made a catch a moment ago, leads things off. Savage, before that slight tweak of his ankle, had back-to-back Ks, his most efficient inning in the third. Needed just 11 pitches. And here he is in a 2-2 count.
You know, I think the Duke story is so interesting. We talked about his last at bat, but how do you not cheer for a guy like that, right? That earned the right. He busted his rear end to get into the lineup to help his club, and has really been a spark plug. And they describe him as one of their best hitters since he got in the order.
Now Dukes hits one hard to first, and that time Cunningham's all over it. The good news there for East Carolina, pretty good off the mound there for you, Savage.
Yeah, and I think Cunningham was thinking, let me get that big unit stopped, and I'll take care of this one before we put him back in more peril over here around first base. But, yeah, he did bounce off the mound. Maybe a little gingerly, but nothing that would be of any alarm.
And look at the jungle cooking up some in-game festivities. I'll take a hot dog and a side of fries if they're making anything out there.
Let me tell you something. That crowd does not cook hot dog. There is some prime type of meat on there. It might be a brisket or a loin or something, but that crowd gets after it. A lot of fun out there.
Part of a fantastic atmosphere for college baseball here in Greenville. Tomorrow is senior day. It's a doubleheader here for ECU and Rice. And then the trip down to Florida, beginning conference tournament play in Fort Lauderdale. That's a Tuesday, game one. A slow roller here to third base. And good news, our production staff was listening. It's not just hot dogs out there. It is some prime combination there.
There's that fish, chicken, some rice, all kinds of good stuff.
We got plates for everybody out there.
Hey, everybody.
You got to love. Well, look at that. They're watching the game.
How about that?
Well, in about 30 seconds, they'll be cheering on themselves out in the jungle. Cool look inside East Carolina baseball here. So, Mike, what's your in-game tailgate, right? Because I'm thinking, for me personally, it's got to be burgers. For me, just
well, I mean, if I'm at the ballpark and I'm going to eat, it's going to be a hot dog. Hot dog and a cold pop.
You a mustard, ketchup guy, relish?
Yeah, chili slaw.
Ooh, chili slaw. That's smart.
Maybe a little ketchup.
Some good cooking here in the final weekend set of the year as Savage fires in strike one.
Well, single game today, doubleheader tomorrow due to some pending weather, so I'm sure that there'll be something on the grill that'll bide the time for a long day at the ballpark.
I have a feeling a good steak could be cooked up tomorrow. We got a lot of baseball on tap, 18 innings. And both teams need wins in the doubleheader. East Carolina to clinch the regular season, Rice to secure its playoff spot. As pitch 67 from Savage misses, he issues his first walk.
This certainly is not the Trey Savage that Pirate fans have come to know and love. Kind of laboring through this outing to this point, almost at the 70 pitch mark with 2 outs in the fourth. It's a little off schedule from where you'd like for him to be.
Now the DH, Nathan Becker, who hits a team-high 278. This is not a juggernaut offense, but what Becker has done in the league, 29 walks, really good plate discipline, and even today a walk and a run scored. Here's Becker flying one out to the shortstop. It finally comes back down to earth to Joey Barini. Trey Savage back on the bump, looking comfortable. Just one hit, 1 run allowed. It's the Rice Owls up 1 early. first matchup in a minute for these two programs. 2016, the last time these former CUSA, now AAC rivals met. And you go back to that 2013 year, Rice won the series. The Rice Owls were a super regional team in 2013, lost to nearby NC State, a Trey Turner, Carlos Rodon duo club. Two programs who have historically been really good in college baseball, and here they meet again for the 34th time.
What Coach Graham did in the history of Rice baseball and building this thing up with such an academic institution is pretty incredible. And we're seeing kind of a page out of that playbook right down the road in Duke.
So Riley Johnson will lead things off. College World Series trips in 06, 07, and 08 for Rice. As Johnson takes a big swing, but a pop-up to right. And to Parker Smith's credit, he has been cruising here through 4 innings.
Yeah, I know that's a pop-up by Riley Johnson, and we had seen him only show bunt twice before, and we kind of talked in his first at-bat about the shoulder injury, but it's kind of good just to see him get a swing, get a swing off and at least know that he can do that. And it certainly, if he's going to have to play this ball game, that's certainly going to help to loosen things up. At least they know now, he can take a full hat.
Battling a shoulder injury is Riley Johnson. So here's Ryan McChrystal. Parker Smith on 36 pitches has diced up this ECU lineup so far.
I tell you what, you've seen that same pitch time and time again down and into the lefties from 88 to 93, so kind of mixing speeds in same location. It's been really effective.
Goes forward again. That one shot fair and a base hit. First hit of the day for the Pirates. McChrystal with a double.
McChrystal, the speedy catcher. The speedy catcher DH, they love it. Catchers love when you call him speedy. The speedy catcher DH drives one down there off of the diving first baseman's glove, gets away. Right fielder obviously is playing over in the shadows there, kind of over towards the flagpoles, and allows McChrystal to cruise into second base with an easy little stand-up double.
That's McChrystal's 5th double of the year. And a little celebration to end it.
If the kids call that the celly.
I'm learning something new every day.
The celly, yeah.
Kind of had the vibe of Dragon Ball Z, if you know what I'm mentioning.
I have no clue.
Oh, it's a good old comic show. We'll catch up sometime. As Jacob Starling, the senior second baseman, checks in. A mix of cheers belting from this Pirate crowd as Starling fouls one off.
You got to feel like with the action on that pitch that, if he goes back fastball, Starling's going to be looking to pull that ball. Pull it in kind of left center gap and, stay inside of it and work towards the heart of the field. The option is to go breaking ball here to the right-hander. Hadn't seen a ton of them today.
Here's the 0-2. Starling back behind us.
And there was the breaking ball. Kind of a little more of the plate than he would like in a 2-strike count, but Starling fouls it back. A little bit of a hanger. I bet Star would like to have that swing back.
Parker Smith in a rare bit of trouble here in the 4th.
That's the challenge with that pitch. That thing's got such depth to dive in again when he goes in on righties, and the way he's been throwing it on the hip of the lefties and back to the plate, this would go in hard on the righties. Going to be difficult to keep that thing fair unless he makes a mistake with it over the plate.
Now the 0-2, and that one hits Starling. It's a rare mistake, first and second with one out.
Starling tried to manufacture a little energy. This team's a lot about energy, and the fans that drive that energy quotient here at Clark LeClaire, and Starling showing a little toughness and trying to get the fans in behind him, and almost a little McGregor kind of strut there as he heads down to first base.
So here's a quick meeting with the catcher, Manny Garza. And all of a sudden, an offense that's been held in check if you're ECU the last 2 weeks, showing some signs of life here in the fourth.
You know, we felt like, or I felt like as they flipped the lineup and got another look at them, you know, they get a little more comfortable. And the game plan for Smith has been fairly consistent on both sides of the plate. Again, we've seen him face far less right-handers for East Carolina because they just don't have many. But you kind of settle into that, and it puts you in a position as a hitter, you can go up there and hunt a pitch, knowing that that's going to be the philosophy for how they're going to try to get you out. Interesting celebration or energy employment down there in front of the East Carolina dugout. Can't tell who that is. That out dancing around, and they're hosing him down. Whitaker, yeah, he's out there having a big time.
He's feeling the vibe.
Yeah,
of this
they hit him with the water and having a big time.
It shows the sense of urgency for both these teams. UTSA puts up a 5 spot on FAU in the first inning. And the Pirates have a 1-game lead but do not own the tiebreaker over the Roadrunners, which makes these next 3 must-win games if you're Cliff Godwin.
You can see here Jenkins Cowell looks like he's backed off the plate a little bit, looking for that pitch down and in.
That pitch stays away and catches the zone for a strike.
I'm not so sure if Garza, the catcher for Rice, hasn't seen the same thing, but this is a guy that certainly can put 3 runs on the board in just one swing.
Jenkins Cowart, the RBI leader in the American Athletic, takes a big swing there.
And I think he was thinking just that, if he could get those arms extended and make this a 2-run game in the Pirates' favor.
So here's the 0-2. Jenkins Cowart sprays one to left. This has carry. This has parking lot written all over it.
Got on cue. Jenkins Cowart gets those arms extended, drives that ball the other way for a 3-run home run. Put the Pirates up 2. Pirates desperately needed that spark.
A gift for the jungle. Jenkins Cowart, 9th homer of the year.
Take a look at it here again. One that just kind of backs up, stays over the heart of the plate, and we saw the swing before that. JC was looking to get off a good bolt, and he does in that situation. A little Oppo Taco, drives that ball up into the trees, out over the jungle crown. The megaphone's out in left field.
We just noted the delicious spread out there in left. Well, there's a treat for a jam-packed outfield of fans. So Dixon Williams steps in as the offense erupts for its 67th homer of the year.
I have all ideas. Davin Whitaker, number 33 for East Carolina, that we saw down there dancing and getting hosed down. He might as well expect to stay wet for a while, because of the way baseball players' minds work, that might be the new superstition.
The new rally tradition. I like what you're putting down there, Mike, as Williams almost gets hit. How do you stay in the moment here if you're Parker Smith?
Look, you know you've got a job to do, and it's one of those situations you get right back in it. You're only down 2, hold them right here, and get your team back in the dugout.
Here's the 2-0. Williams, a high chopper. He's got elite speed, and the throw is off. Williams beats it out, and Parker Smith, he's a bit slow to get up.
You know, I thought we were going to have an interesting development there. As we look back at it, you'll see the chopper first baseman goes back and kind of fields it like a pop-up. That's all he had. But I was thinking for a second right here, Evan, that we were going to have these 2 guys get twisted up with the ball getting away, would Williams have been awarded second base on an interference. But it didn't happen. They managed to avoid contact. And, again, Dixon Williams, good runner. A little pressure on the defense, and Parker Smith comes up a little short on that. Runner on first.
Dangerous collision there. You're right. That could have gone a lot of ways.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have a 2-car pileup there, but they both kind of managed to avoid that.
A 3-run inning continues for Justin Wilcoxon. And now trouble for Parker Smith, who mowed through the first 12 hitters on 35 pitches. Not been the same since.
You know, you've mentioned a time or two. He is obviously laboring to a point, or maybe he's just a heavy sweater. I don't know, but he looks a little weathered now. And Wilcox, another one of those guys. If you throw that pitch down there and it backs up a little more than you want it to, another guy that can hit one out of the park in a hurry.
12 home runs this year for the Pirate catcher. Runner moving. Wilcoxon slaps one foul. What has changed this second time through the lineup for ECU?
Man, it's familiarity. The more you see him, and again, I mean, his plan, Parker Smith's plan has remained very, very consistent, and the execution is not quite what it was in the early innings. So, I think it's, kind of wear on him and keep seeing him put together quality at bats, and good things will happen.
Now the 1-1. Runner again moving. Wilcoxon, a little hit and run action. And a nice play by Motley with a race to third. Tremendous speed from Dixon Williams.
Yeah, that is something that this Pirate offense is known for. We've seen them go from, we've seen the squeeze play, runners on second and third, scoring from second. They're going to be very aggressive on the base pass. The third baseman has to field this ball. Shortstop should rotate over immediately, see the pitcher try to get there, but they kind of get caught watching the game, and the speedy Dixon Williams takes advantage.
And you don't want to throw that ball into the seats and give up a run.
Yeah, and I don't think there was a throw in the world that was going to get him at that point. He had a great jump in that situation, and I think Coach Godwin comes down, has a little chat with Bristol Carter to maybe let Dixon get his breath back. Sometimes you go in head first and knock the wind out of you.
How about the run and hit call by Cliff Godwin here in the fourth? So a 3-run homer from Jacob Jenkins Cowart kickstarts the offense. There's Bristol Carter, the left fielder. Parker Smith grinding in this inning, and that continues. A 2-out knock for Bristol Carter.
For so much of the season, we've seen this Pirate team be just exceptionally good with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Another 2-out run scored by the Pirates, and just a simple piece of offensive execution. Dixon Williams gets himself in the scoring position, and you'll see here Bristol Carter just stays on the hanger, drives it right back through the middle. Easy RBI.
Now 120-plus RBI with 2 outs. This is a dangerous part of ECU's offense.
Oh, yeah, look, and that's something, again, they're just so good at it, and it's just a side of mental toughness, and they're not willing to give up their ABs.
Here's Joey Barini passing the baton into the 9 spot. Remember, 12 of the first 13 hitters all retired. It was an easy ride for Parker Smith, but things have gotten a lot tougher in this 4th inning.
All started with that McChrystal double off the diving first baseman's glove.
And there's strike 2. With UTSA currently up 5-1. This is a big game if you're East Carolina, that battle for first place. Now the 0-2. Really good take, close pitch.
Yeah, Parker Smith wanted that one for sure. These are pitches that could be of concern. The pitcher thought that he had called strike 3. If he lets down here, he could find himself in a bind yet again.
Now the 1-2, a slow chopper. Good charge by Rydell, and that ends the inning. East Carolina adds 4. The offense comes to life. And a 4-1 lead on this swing from Jacob Jenkins Cowart. So the Jungle asks, and they deliver with the delicious pork chop we got rolling tonight. Mike, do you want to try some
of your plate?
Some
Josh
rice too
Thomas.
and
I understand Josh Thomas was the chef in this soiree, and I will tell you, I'm gravely disappointed. It looks fantastic, though.
Delicious.
Are these tater tots?
Oh, yeah. Come on in
It's
there.
pork, and we got some rice. And
little poutine rice combination here.
Tater tots are outstanding. I mean, you can't mess up tater tots. They're outstanding.
And ending with the tater tot offensively. The tots are a nice little touch. Thanks to our friends in the Jungle for cooking up some delicious pork chops.
So we have an interesting situation here at the plate, and kind of ironically, before the game, I noticed some of this, that there was a little the right-hand batter's box. I'm sorry, the left-handed batter's box for left-handed hitters was a little bit askew.
Yeah.
And I think it's being addressed. The staff from Rice had some concerns about it, so the hospitable Pirate grounds crew says, okay, we'll put another one down, no big deal.
And they can't re-chalk that, correct? Or re-spray can that, correct? Or can they?
Oh, yeah. That's why I see they've got the sprayer sitting out there beside them, so they'll lay down some more lines. And
well, good. More of a chance for us to have these pork chops, Mike.
Yeah, I tell you what, a beverage to go with that would have been special. But thank you, Jungle Crew. It's very kind.
While we clean up the field and get all situated, it's a busy week now as you hit the final week of the regular season. And for these top 25 programs like East Carolina, look how important things are now. You start to get a sense of the top 16, who's going to host, who will be a top 8 national seed. And, man, that Wake Forest-NC State series, gigantic for national seeding.
You know, and there's so much speculation, and we kind of joked off air about how many ifs and scenarios we play out over the weekend, you know, as we were covering these games. But there are a tremendous number of ifs, and I know, you know, the Pirate fans are going, okay, hey, can we still be a top 8 host? Can we be a national seed? And the question is yet to be answered. I mean, I still think there are a number of different options, and kind of going to be interested to see how it all shakes out. But and like you were saying, the ACC series this weekend have a tremendous impact on how, you know, all this is going to shake out.
Get a little inside baseball here as they spray the lines behind home plate, get everything all situated. By the way, in the latest projected field of 65, East Carolina would be a regional host. They'd be a 12 seed hosting a very good Duke squad coming into town, but it's all projections with a week to go.
You know, it's kind of interesting, and this is the thing that has become more and more talked about in baseball as it relates to what we're seeing here on the screen. I actually saw this debated in a high school baseball game this week about the line on the inside of the batter's box, and it's not by rule, not something you have to do. A lot of people have the quote-unquote parenthesis, kind of the open inside batter's boxes, but I guess the folks at Rice wanted that, and sometimes, you know, there's a saying in sports, don't poke the bear, and that might be just enough to poke the bear of this East Carolina Pirate team.
Look at that, enjoying some popcorn, watching the lines get all set. I am curious from a pitching perspective. We noted Trey Savage with his ankle. He rolled a couple innings ago. This is a bit of a longer delay for him coming back out.
Yeah, you have to wonder, first and foremost, at 70 pitches, what's his number today? And, you know, not knowing exactly what the plan is on how they're going to manage him going into the conference tournament. Like you said earlier, a Tuesday game is, I guess, a possibility. Actually, I would think, that's obviously going to be dependent upon seeding, but the tournament itself starts Tuesday. So, you wonder, is that a deal where they feel like, hey, we're going to roll him back out there early in the conference tournament, or do you kind of try to keep him on schedule? He's been a guy that's thrown in these Thursday, Friday games. So, but wonder how much the ankle will play into that. And I guess that's one of those things that time will tell.
Just a beautiful night. We've had delicious pork chops. We get a field redone. And here we are midway through in the 5th inning with Mike Mullis. I'm EvanBudrovich. Senior doubleheader tomorrow. There's a lot happening in the AAC right now. And it really gives you a sense of how important these last 3 days are.
You know, just watching Savage throw these warm-up pitches and even walk around the mound, and Wilcox had threw a pitch or a ball warm-up pitch back to him that was kind of up and away. I do think that ankle or that Achilles kind of area is something that's a concern for him. He's not moving around at 100%. Again, I don't think it's enough to take him out of the outing, but I think it's something that becomes more of a concern as it stiffens up after the outing's over.
This fan base getting a little antsy. They want to see some baseball after a 4-run inning, and Trey Savage goes back to work.
Well, and the bear that I was referring to is this 4,000 people that are in the stadium that love their Pirates. And
there's a line drive, base hit to begin the top of the 5th. Pierce Gallo goes back up the middle. And now that sun is really playing a factor.
Yeah, I lost that ball too, and it looks like Riley Johnson did as well. A little stumble there, but he was going to his right. He lost it coming out of the shadow. And I was watching him, and when I look up, I see the ball rolling. But, yeah, that was kind of an interesting deal. But Riley able to get to it, get it back in, keep the runner at first base.
So Manny Garza digs in. How important is the shutdown inning here if you're Trey Savage on the mound?
Yeah, this is the defensive philosophy of the Pirates in this situation. Really, any good baseball team is to play offense on defense. In other words, hurry up, push the action, and get back in the dugout swinging the bats.
A Rice club that has won 3 of its last 4 conference series to stay in this hunt with a win today combined with a Charlotte loss have put themselves in a great spot to clinch that 8th seed and get in. So Garza waits the 2-1. And he again challenges with the fake bunt.
And I can tell you this happening so early in this series, this being the little controversy, if you will, at the plate. I don't these Pirate fans will not let this umpiring crew forget about that until they leave here late tomorrow afternoon.
Here's a high pop-up. Williams runs out of room. And a nice catch. Oh, tremendous hands by that young man.
Nicely done.
He played the wall to his left. He used his hand to block the sun, and he brought it in. I hope Cliff Godwin's taking notes. Might have a walk-on possibly down the road. Savage on 3-2. Runners moving, the strikeout. And a bit of a collision there on the slide, but the runner's safe. Gallo into second.
This is the second time we've seen Will Coxon go down to second base on still attempts. And first one was bounced, and that one up and up the line and up as well. And Brady with a nice job in attempted tag, but that's something that Will Coxon has been so good at in his career, kind of flying open a little bit and letting that thing get outside. And you got that little arm side run. It makes it tough for your shortstop to get the tag on him.
Eric Correa with a 1-out bunt, and that ball rolls foul. Smart play by Dixon Williams.
Yeah, let me tell you something. He had no choice. Correa absolutely out of the box like lightning and was through the bag as that ball was finally rolling foul. You'll see it here. Correa, good jump out of the box, and Dixon Williams nowhere in sight. Finally he gets there, and just as it's rolling foul, he's crossing first base. That's the speedy Correa.
That's like watching a putt at Valhalla this weekend in the PGA Championships. Just couldn't hole out. And here's the 0-1. Man, if you're a hitter staring into that bright sun, you're facing a 10-game winner. This is not a fun time to be hitting.
No, it's tough.
The Rice team had scored a sac fly in the second. That's been the offense. Put that picture on a Christmas card and send it out across the country. This is a great time for college baseball. And there's strike 2. Savage in search of strikeout 6. He has it. the backwards K for the second out.
Really quality pitch there. Just kind of dots it up away, reaches back and grabs a little velo. Ball had great sinking action there, just again a little too much for Eric Correa.
That sinker is an electric strikeout pitch. Now 138 Ks for you, Savage. Motley, who was a strikeout victim his first time up, steps in. Tobias has wiggled himself into that third base role last 30 games. We noted the move of Rydell to short. That opened the door for Motley.
Yeah, Motley just a freshman. Little pick effort out there by the Pirates. Savage and Starling.
This is a Rice team that is very aggressive. 45 steals. They've been caught once today and have stolen a bag. And now a 3-0 count.
And if you're Trey Savage, this is not what you want to do, is to throw 3 straight balls to the 9-spot hitter who's hitting right around the Mendoza line.
There's strike one. By the way, for those young and not familiar with the game of baseball, 200 is the Mendoza line.
I apologize.
No, it's important to teach everyone along the way. There's a 5-pitch walk.
Again, now you've flipped the lineup, and this Rice team getting their third look at Trey Savage. No question, Devaney's trying to hit a ground ball. We've seen his swing, and it kind of looked like it was a defensive swing, but even when he puts the ball in play, it is a lot of top hand and effort to beat it into the dirt.
Jacob Devaney 0 for 2. A couple of close plays on groundouts. Great speed out of the box. Now a 2-0 count. And if you're Savage, nearing 90 pitches, he's had a tough time finding the zone here in the 5th.
Yeah, it's kind of been a tell of 2 outings for Trey. He's had signs where you're like, okay, there he is. He's settled in. And then it's times like this and like we saw with Motley.
There's a strike. Worth noting is Savage expected to get the ball Tuesday, game 1 of the AAC tournament. Pirates are either a 1 or 2 seed, depending on these next 3 games. And there's strike 2. Pitch 92 from you, Savage. Lays off.
You know, that pitch is a big one, too, because I don't know how to put the runners in motion, and a base hit will score 2. With 2 outs in the inning, full count on the hitter. This is one of the situations where you have your infield hold the spot, field the ball, throw across. Because, again, Devaney likes to hit the ball on the ground.
The 3-2. A pop-up. Carter runs over and runs out of room. No pitcher by wins above replacement has been better in college baseball than Trey Savage. Not his elite stuff today, but working with a 2-run lead here in the 5th. What could be his final pitch of the regular season. The 3-2. Fouled off.
Devaney extending the at bat here and just driving that number closer and closer to 100. Again, we're not quite sure. We've seen Savage go into the 120-ish range a time or two. Not sure again with their plan, but doesn't appear that anybody's down in the Pirate pen playing toss.
Another 3-2. What a battle here from Jacob Devaney.
You know, with his swing, it's kind of interested me that he's been able to get to those 3 balls up in the zone. Because the barrel doesn't stay in the zone for a whole long time. It's kind of direct to contact kind of deal.
He's Savage on pitch 9 of the at-bat. Another foul ball.
Vinny just refuses to strike out. I think Trey's going to have to throw the splitty here at some point and try to get the swing and miss. The fear is if it's not a good one, it plays right into Vinny's strength and his plan again to dominate the top half of the baseball.
Pitch 97 now from Trey Savage. On the ground, in front of the bag, and Barini ends the inning. 5 innings of 1-run work, and if this is the final outing of the regular season, Trey Savage puts his team in front. Welcome back to Greenville. This game summary brought to you by Grady White Boats. A 4-run fourth. The big difference for East Carolina. Jacob Jenkins Cowart goes yard. Both starting pitchers pretty good today. Parker Smith and Trey Savage going back and forth. And Smith returns for the 5th inning. This is a must-win game for Rice. Sort of the same for East Carolina with UTSA dominating in game 1.
Yeah, you know, I don't know that either one of these guys would describe these outings as their cleanest or best efforts, but we've seen them both kind of gut through to this point. Be interested to see if Smith makes it out of the inning.
Parker Smith, who's gone at least 5 in his last 6 starts. Rice will need that, especially with a doubleheader tomorrow. Really gives you a sense of what's on the line for these two programs. So Carter Cunningham makes his way back into the box. 0 for 2 with a sharp line out to center his last time up. And look at that perspective, right in the shadows.
Yeah, we got a lot going on here. I don't know.
And now pitching coach comes out.
Another conversation here, and this is
Smith, a little bit of discomfort.
Maybe his pitch comm isn't working. I think maybe what they're talking about. Let's see what they've got here.
Time to pull out the double A's and recharge the battery.
No, whatever it was, I thought he gave something to the coach, but it looked like they were kind of looking at the pitch call system there. But
so Rick Allen gets this back into play. And now it's Carter Cunningham's turn. He takes a strike.
Again, Smith's plan stays consistent, right? He's going to pound that spot down and into these lefties with that fastball.
Cunningham staring into that bright sun, holds off on a check swing. Imagine the challenge as a hitter right now.
You know, this reminds me of old Wrigley when they had the day games all the time and the shadows would start to creep. And I guess every ballpark goes through it, but that's one of my memories as a child. Did he get it all?
Cunningham hits a missile to center, right to the track, and enough room for Ben Dukes.
Yeah, didn't quite square that one up off the bat, and Dukes able to drift back and collect that one fairly easily.
Probably the only guy in the park who thought that was fairly easy. hitting that 395 out to center.
You know, and again, that is the deepest part of this ballpark, as it is most places, but certainly plays deep out in center as well. If he pulls that ball, it's in the seats.
Riley Johnson, who did swing the bat his last time up, swings again, pops this to center. Dukes with a little more space, and look at that hat for Ben Dukes. He's worn the same hat for 7 years. He picked up the hat on a recruiting visit as a junior and has never taken it off in a game.
Well, would you expect anything else from a guy like Dukes? I mean, with the story, again, if you missed it earlier, we kind of highlight the fact that he's worked himself from being the self-described 40th man on the team, the third catcher, the bullpen catcher, the guy that kind of did whatever he needed to do to hang around, to a guy that's now a contributor and a big part of this Rice team.
A quick time call as Ryan McChrystal makes his way in. Yeah, Ben Dukes got that hat in high school. He also wears the same undershirt after every game. And you talk to Jose Cruz, said, I never sit next to Ben Dukes. I give him all the space in the world.
I'm sure that hat needs an oil change. I mean, I'm sure it's got...
Clayton Kershaw would even ask for a new hat, given his history. Neat story there with Ben Dukes. He'll play in center, and with 2 outs, Ryan McChrystal looks to bunt. That's foul.
McChrystal in an effort to beat the shift there that Rice has on. You know, he figures out he legged out a double last time, and maybe he got word that we called him speedy up here, so he's going to try bunting for a base hit to extend the inning.
Parker Smith searching for a 1-2-3 inning. And McChrystal tests the left fielder, Duvinny into the corner, and 3 loud outs to end the 5th. 3 up, 3 down for the Pirates, holding on to a 3-run lead. The AAC Baseball Championship begins next week down in Clearwater, Florida. A fun race to see who will lift the conference title. Last year it was the number 7 seed, Tulane. East Carolina, the champion from 2 years ago. It is all up for grabs starting Tuesday. You can watch those games on ESPN+. Trey Savage, who's in line for Pitcher of the Year honors in the American, will face Ben Dukes, the heartwarming story of perseverance in this Rice lineup. He's 0 for 2 tonight, as he continues to stare into the bright sun. Maybe one more inning for these hitters where it's going to be tough. Lone run, a sac fly for Rice in the 2nd inning from Manny Garza. And there's the patented splitter from Savage.
Dukes is a guy that's just lacking a few ABs before he can be qualified for their leader of their offensive categories. But a guy that, again, since his time coming in the lineup, has certainly climbed the ladder with their offense and become just a huge part. Again, described as potentially one of their best hitters.
Has a team best 420 on base percentage among all starters. Old school grip. Chokes up on the bat. Difficult AB every time. And there's a 2-2 count.
You know, he's a guy that just doesn't try to do too much. He stays short in his approach. Again, just looking to deliver the barrel and kind of catch the baseball with the barrel of the bat. Just a real short, little compact stroke.
There's a compact foul ball. How do you feel about Savage here, 100 pitches plus in the 6th?
Obviously, we saw a shot down there, Growler getting up in the East Carolina pen, so I think it's getting close. I would imagine he's in here to face this next guy that we got a right-hander on deck. That may be the end of his night, but that may also be dependent upon how many Dukes can see from him.
It's a weird dichotomy if you're East Carolina. You want the 1 seed in the regular season. You also want your starter fresh for Tuesday.
Yeah, well, and you also know that you're in a little 5-game skid, and whatever gives you the best chance to win these ball games and kind of reverse that is a big deal. And especially if the thought is we want to keep the opportunity to potentially be a national host in play, then the Pirates have to do all that they can to win every game from this point forward.
The number 13 team in the country here, up 3 in the 6th. Dukes pops one up. A Bermuda Triangle of Pirates, and a collision with a catch for the shortstop, Barini.
Yeah, Bristol Carter was pretty vocal on that, yelling for that ball, trying to call that one off. Kind of as he's coming in, you could see him and actually hear him screaming from up here in the press box, but Barini just kind of keeps drifting. Typically, you would rather see your infielder kind of peel off and let your left fielder make that coming in.
That's a senior shortstop, 175 games now for Barini. He wanted that one. So 1 out. Trey Savage, who has walked only 2 and only surrendered 2 hits. He's been really solid despite not his best stuff. Will face Trayton Rank.
I think this will be his last hitter for the night, and it does a couple things. Number one, it's the right-on-right matchup for, as it relates to the game. But the other thing that it's going to allow him to do is lift him in front of the home crowd, get the standing ovation that he so much has earned and deserves from this Pirate fan base, as I believe he'll leave after this hitter either way.
Nice footwork from Coach Jose Cruz, who spent a decade in the big leagues.
Yeah, but we know footwork's not a problem for him. He's, was quite the player. I would imagine he's probably a guy that may still be the best player on his team if he gets out there in inter-squads.
Love to see him in a shirt and shorts hitting some BP after a 12-year big league career. Now the 1-2. And was that a hit by pitch or a foul ball?
I don't know. It certainly got a piece of the umpire.
Might have missed everybody and just hit the umpire. Great point, Mike. That's where that bright sun makes it really tough right now.
I think we've only got about 10 more minutes of the sun, and then it will be gone until tomorrow. You see it here, though.
It hits the bat.
Yep.
Okay.
And then down into the umpire's hand, on the ricochet there where he's got his counter.
So the 1-2 pitch. No offering.
I can promise you Trey Savage, Coach Godwin, and the entirety of the Pirate fan base would love to see a strikeout here for Savage. So it would be fitting, again, as he throws most likely to his last batter in the regular season here at Clark LeClaire Stadium.
Gives up a foul ball. Savage, who's rising up the strikeout per 9 inning rate. Now in the top 10, has been electric. 6 Ks tonight. And working here with a 4-1 lead. The 2-2. So a full count coming.
Tell you what, you saw those top 2 up there. When you're talking 17 strikeouts per inning, you just think how much that shortens the game for your club when you could take that many outs on your own shoulders.
The nation's leader in total WAR, Trey Savage, 3 wins above any pitcher in college baseball. Adds another to it with a strikeout. 7 Ks for Savage. And it looks like this could be Savage's inning to finish here, Mike.
No, here they come. They were letting everything settle in, let the hitter report. Well, I say that Coach Godwin came to the top of the stairs of the dugout and then turned around and went back.
He did the old deke.
Yeah, he did. He started to make the walk. I don't know if he got a look from from Trey saying, leave me out here for one more. But he certainly walked right around pitching coach Austin Knight and would look like he was coming out and did an about face.
He'll face Jack Rydell, who's in line for an all AAC season. Double-figure home runs and doubles. And now a 2-0 count. You have to think, two-pitch 116. That's a new season high for Trey Savage. Putting his team on a back, looking to break a 5-game losing streak here for East Carolina.
Nothing too good here. I would be curious as to if they trust Rydell enough to greenlight him.
Let's see. They don't?
Nope.
So Savage on pitch 119 gives up a walk. And I think that decision might be taken out of his hands here.
Yep, here comes the skipper for the Pirates. Cliff Godwin making his way out. Boy, it would have been a little more dramatic to see him have left after the strikeout, but I think that was one of those deals. He wanted to try to get out the guy with 15 home runs and help his team a little bit more, and Coach Godwin goes out and congratulates him on a great year and a pat on the back, and we'll see the fans' reaction here as Trey Savage exits.
For the final time in the regular season, Trey Savage, the career 18-game winner, takes a bow and exits here in Greenville after a fantastic regular season. When we come back, a pitching change for the Pirates as their ace takes the exit here in the 6th. Welcome back to Greenville, where Aaron Groller gets the call out of the bullpen after one of the best pitchers in college baseball steps aside for what could be his final start here in Greenville. We'll see in the next 2 weeks. So Groller's 19th appearance. It's been a very situational lefty. The coaching staff has a ton of confidence in him, and now he looks to clean up this 6th inning.
Yeah, if there's ever been a contrast in styles, if you go from your Savage to Groller, you're going from a mid-90s fastball right-hander with just a wipeout splitty to Aaron Groller, who's a guy that typically tops out somewhere in the 83 to 86 range and loves to throw the breaking ball. So quite a different look that the Pirates have gone with back in his Savage with Groller.
So Groller gets the baseball here in the 6th. A Rice program with a loss today for USF. Rice with a win is in a great spot to clinch that final 8th seed, but we'll see what happens. And Groller nearly hits Nathan Becker to begin this inning. Becker, who walked and then popped up to short in his 2 plate appearances.
That is the definition of pitching backwards. First pitch, breaking ball at 83. Second pitch, I'm guessing that was a change that was down, maybe a little two-seamer.
Now a 2-1 count.
Back to the breaking ball.
Roller, who has replaced Yesavage in multiple outings, now gives up a hard grounder to third. Good snag by Dixon Williams, and that ends the inning. So through 5.5, the number 13 team in the country back in its groove, up 3. One week to go in the regular season, and here's what D1 Baseball has projected. Number 12 East Carolina and a possible regular season rematch with number 5 Carolina. That's a really neat bracket. Wilmington, Greensboro, Duke, a lot of local clubs in this projected super matchup.
Yeah, UNCG, High Point, you're right. It is truly a regional type feel. It'll be interesting to see how much of this holds, kind of holds true, but we've seen it all over the board here as the season's gone on and the projections started rolling out.
And right now, East Carolina needs 3 wins to secure a regular season title. Parker Smith back to work here in the 6th, and Jacob Starling gives a ride to this first pitch. That's fair.
Yeah, that's down on the line.
A sharp double for Starling. An extra base hit, his 11th double of the year.
Yeah, we said earlier with that action Parker Smith has, that was going to kind of have to be the plan, and Starling gets an elevated fastball, managed to get just enough barrel on it, and it literally catches just the outside part of the line. So needless to say, we have to go to review, our first review of the night, but and I say that, I don't know that anybody's asked for it. This may just be the umpires having a conversation. Nope, they are indeed going to go to the review.
Rice-initiated review. I think that'll take about 30 seconds, which is the good news.
Yeah, I mean, this was pretty cut and dried, and obviously with the great camera work that the crew does, they'll have a pretty clear look. So this visit should be very, very quick, very short. Parker Smith gets to stand out there and kind of marinate a little bit while they figure all this out. And the nice part for Rice, that'll also give them a chance to get a righty and lefty both up in their pen.
So here's what we're looking at. Fair or foul.
You can see it here just right on the line. And, back in the day, they would have said we saw chalk fly, but you see the turf pellets from catching just the edge of the artificial turf area that runs down both wings and around home plate.
I'm not sure I see enough to overturn this.
No, I think there's enough to actually confirm. I mean, I think there's just enough of the line, and that is the advantage of back when it was chalk. You would know because obviously the chalk would fly, but
a lot easier from a field maintenance standpoint.
Lot easier from a maintenance standpoint, no question. You know, and those turf wings add an awful lot of usable space as it relates to drill work and being able to, you know, have guys. I mean, I stop by practice sometimes and they're bunting in these areas and they're doing different drills that would otherwise kill grass or any kind of natural surface. You see the fans down there trying to help out. So my theory all year, and actually since replay started, was the longer it takes, the more likely it is to be overturned. And as I say that, here they come, and I think it'll stand as called.
Here's the ruling. Okay, call stands.
Never a doubt.
Rice with 2 challenges remaining. And now for Cliff Godwin, searching for insurance runs here in the 6th.
I mean, I know he hit a home run last time up, but are you betting swing away or are you betting small ball here? It's hard to figure out Cliff Godwin, but you know, one of their staples is obviously getting runners over.
Fresh off a home run in this last swing. Here's Jacob Jenkins-Coward. Okay, aggressive it is with a foul ball there.
Well, don't let that fool you. Coach Godwin looking down at that play call sheet, and interesting contrast in styles. Coach Godwin in the Pirate offense uses the wristband call system, and Coach Cruz and his guys still go with old-fashioned signs, which is kind of refreshing to see.
East Carolina, top 10 in the country in sack bunts. You combine that with a high-scoring offense, 9 runs a game.
This is one of those situations where your top RBI guys at the plate, and Coach Godwin's showing a little faith in him, at least to this point in the at-bat.
Here's a pop-up from JJC. Plenty of room there for Rydell, and a loud first out.
You know, in reality, you've got 3 cracks at scoring Starling from second base with a pretty potent part of your offense.
We'll see how Dixon Williams plays it here with 1 out. He helped cash in and then score himself, one of 4 runs in the 4th inning. That's been the offense for the Pirates.
You know, it doesn't seem like that. I mean, it seems like Parker Smith's outing has been a little more laborious than the numbers would indicate. Only 62 pitches.
Meanwhile, Yesavage, 119 pitches before he was pulled. 2 different styles of doing it. Worth noting, UTSA up 8-1 over FAU in the 5th. This is a must-win game if you're East Carolina. Up 1 game in the standings. You hear this Pirate crowd come to life. Now the 3-0 pitch. Williams to left center. That ball is crushed in the gap, and it's 5-1 East Carolina on the double.
You know, pretty impressive, and something that you don't typically see from a Cliff Godwin offense is a 3-0 green light. But all the confidence in the world for Dixon Williams to come out and do the job he did right there, and understanding, obviously, in a 3-0 count, probably going to get something pretty good to hit, and he did, and took care of it, drove that ball out in the left center, and scored Starling easily. You'll see it here. He just stays right with that pitch and drives that ball in the left center. For a second, it looked like Dukes may get there, and I know it didn't look like from the screen, but just watching it live, I thought, oh, man, is he going to make that play? But ball gets down, and Dixon Williams changes places with Jacob Starling.
There's Justin Wilcoxon, who's hitting .320 with runners in scoring position. He goes first pitch hunting, and a ground ball to second. Gallows all over it. for the second out. But you're right. The way these offenses have countered one very quick and early in the count for ECU, and then a very patient Rice lineup.
Yeah, Rice did an outstanding job at the plate against Savage in extending their at-bats and making him throw more pitches, and obviously were able to get him out of the game before their starter leaves.
Here's Bristol Carter with 2 outs. The thought of a squeeze bunt. Cliff Godwin always will test a defense with small ball.
Yeah, that a little more of a bunt for base hit kind of thought process. And, you know, Bristol Carter is another one of these Pirate hitters that can really run.
That time a strike.
We also see the Pirate hitters use that kind of show bunt a lot when they're taking a pitch or, you know, kind of trying to draw a ball.
Smith on 1-1 gets Carter chasing, who's been outstanding with 2 outs this year. Maybe none better statistically in this Pirate lineup than Bristol Carter.
Yeah, and if you'll remember back his last at bat, he did a really nice job of just staying on a pitch and driving it right back through the box, actually skipping off the mound, and that's kind of what they'd like to see him do right here.
Another 2-out spot for Bristol Carter. And he buckles and holds for a 2-2 count.
That is some wrist and forearm strength there, taking him to the knees to not quite let that barrel cross the invisible plane there.
Good breaking ball, and Parker Smith gets out of it. Second K of the night for the Rice ace. East Carolina adds 1 to its lead here through 6. Beautiful shot here in Greenville, North Carolina. East Carolina University, number 13 team in the country. Right now in position to host a regional. They're looking to maintain that spot, up 5-1 here in the 7th. Aaron Grawler, who came in to replace Trey Savage, back out for his second inning. And as the standings shake out, there are 5 teams fighting for the final 4 spots in the AAC tournament. So someone's going home. Rice will hope to extend its season, needing at least a win, if not 2 in this series. Here's Pierce Gallo in a 2-1 count.
Yeah, Gallo continues to be a really steady hitter for this Rice offense, 2 for 2 on the day.
Now the 2-1. A slow roller that sneaks past Dixon Williams and a leadoff base hit.
Really tough chance there. You know, he's kind of in between. He comes to try to get the better of the hops, but this ball's got a little pepper on it coming off the bat. And you'll see Dixon make a charge forward and kind of swipe at it, just gets over his glove, and I think that's going to be ruled a hit.
So second hit for Gallo, 2 of the 3 hits, and now Manny Garza digs in. He drove in the lone run for Rice tonight. If you're this East Carolina bullpen, there's a doubleheader tomorrow. These are some important innings here for Aaron Growler.
Yeah, they need him to chew these up and, like I said, get back in the dugout and have a chance to score a few more.
And if you're Rice, you're trying to win this game, but you're also scoreboard watching. USF down 4-2 in the 5th. Your magic number's 2. A USF loss combined with a Rice win, and the Owls clinch a spot in the tournament.
And I would imagine Coach Knight's going out to convey that message that, look, man, we need you to fill it up, pound the zone, and keep trying to throw ground ball outs. They did. The official score did rule that an error on Dixon Williams over third base. So tough luck error. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no kidding. You see action warming in the Pirate pen with Norby out there. That's Ethan Norby.
You know, one thing a 4-run lead will do to Coach Cruz is slow down that aggressiveness a little bit. You don't want to run yourself, into outs and out of innings. Roller does have a really good move to first base.
Garza fouls off the 2-0, facing a Pirate bullpen that, as a staff, has 3.7 team ERA and has helped anchor a top 5 pitching rotation by numbers this year. In a bit of trouble, though, in the 7th.
You know, and this is a thing I think is a challenge in this matchup for Growler and this Rice offense is they do such a good job of extending at bats and fouling balls off and putting balls in play. And Growler really doesn't have that punch-out type stuff. So let's see kind of how this plays out as his inning extends.
That's tipped foul. That's one area Rice has really excelled, working the pitch count and grinding out at bats. You look in total now, 128 pitches between Savage and Growler. The 2-2. That time a swing and a miss.
There it is, pulled the string on it, and 76 is not something that most college hitters work on hitting a whole lot, and he's able to get that one by the catcher Garza. You know, we talked earlier in the broadcast about seeing a pitcher more than one time through, and Roller's one of those kind of guys that, you really kind of feel like he starts to get a little exposed as the offense sees him more.
As Eric Correa goes the other way for a base hit. 2 hits in the inning, hit and an error in the inning for Rice.
And typically when you're at the bottom of the lineup like Rice is here, those are guys that may get beat a little bit on good fastballs, may get beat by really aggressive stuff, and I think that's why Coach Godwin's going to come out and make a change, because this matchup probably does not favor the Pirates.
Here comes Cliff Godwin. And yeah, Growler's day is done. Call to the bullpen here for ECU. That's Jaden Winter out there warming up. Now Jaden coming into the game. And we'll step aside for just a moment as the junior will enter for the Pirates here when we return. Apex native Jaden Winter enters out of the ECU bullpen. He pitched twice in the Tulane series. 21 innings of work for Jaden. And here's Cliff Godwin mixing and matching his pen the last 2 innings.
Yeah, Jaden Winter, one of those guys that we've seen in multiple roles for this Pirate pitching staff. And, you know, it's, again, well documented that with the injuries to Jake Hunter and to Lunsford Shinkman and obviously the starting pitcher, Zach Ruth, that it's kind of been a mix and match situation for about the last, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks with this Pirate pitching staff. So Jaden Winter, a big part of it, and a guy that, again, may give you kind of a trip through the lineup, and you kind of piece it together from this point and, you know, kind of try to stay on schedule with number outs and hope that you can get the offense back to the plate.
So this offense for Rice held in check with 2 hits this inning. And now Tobias Motley, who entered the box, will come back in as the lights shine bright here in Greenville. The Pirate program has had a rare 5-game losing streak, looking to regain its top 25 form. And now Motley, who's 0 for 1 with a walk, ready to go. Last thing you want to do with the Pirates is load the bases with a walk.
Yeah, you know, and we saw Motley draw a walk in his last at bat. And I would imagine this matchup is purely about velocity. Winter being a little too much for Motley.
That's a bit down, a 2-0 count.
And you saw Justin Wilcoxon ask that question, a little down. Umpire confirmed it.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Roped into left field, and Motley the base hit. Coach Cruz puts on the brakes, and the bases are loaded.
You know, another big at bat there by Motley last time. His last AB, he flips the lineup by drawing a walk. This time a ringing single through the left side. He just took that fastball, was down and in, and I say necessarily beat the shift, but Barini certainly shaded middle a little bit there.
And Cliff Godwin checking his notes.
Yeah, and I imagine we're going to go left here. I would guess, and I can't tell who's down there. We may see Norby.
Looks like Cliff Godwin ready to make a pitching change here.
And I think this is the kind of series we're going to see the rest of the way, Ev, tonight, obviously, and then into tomorrow. That again, it is Ethan Norby, the lefty, coming in for the Pirates. But I think it's going to be a mix and match kind of deal, and you know, Coach Godwin and staff are going to play the percentages and try to keep the matchups in their favor.
We will mix and match commercial breaks here in the 7th. Quick timeout as Ethan Norby enters for the Pirates. Here is one of the talented freshmen out of the East Carolina pen, Ethan Norby, the Kernersville native, who's not only had good numbers, but he's pitched long relief outings this year. 40 innings of work now for Norby, and he enters in a tight spot here in the 7th.
Deliver another pitch, so Ethan Norby inherits a bases loaded, 1-out situation.
This pesky Rice lineup reaching on an error, a couple of singles on the infield. And now the bases loaded for Jacob Divini, who hits .500 with the bases juiced this year, including a grand slam earlier this month, and he takes a strike.
We talked about it a little earlier, but this Rice lineup does have a lot of left-handed hitters in it, so I'm sure that has a lot to do with the decision the rest of the way for the Pirates.
The 0-1 stays low and away. And Norby, who's been so special out of the pen this year, he'll get tested in this spot. That ball sneaks away. It did not hit the batter, but the runner holds at third on a beneficial bounce for the Pirates.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure if that wasn't a little combination of a mix-up. Maybe he thought it was hit by pitch. Let's see what the runner does at third. Yeah, a little indecision there, and that ricochet off the pad behind home plate sends the runner back, and that did come right back to Wilcoxon. So good call there, Evan.
You'd hate to run yourself into an out, even for an uber-aggressive Jose Cruz Jr. Here's Norby on 2-1. Hard hit to third with the bobble. Tough to turn two, and the run scores. So it's 5-2.
Yeah, with Dixon Williams kind of started off bag even there, so not quite in, but a ball that gets on him pretty quickly, and it kind of a weird choppy spin off the Vinny's bat there. Kind of runs up the arm of Dixon Williams, does a nice job of gathering it and at least collecting the out at second base, but not before the run scores.
Yeah, you wonder if he fields that cleanly. Does East Carolina turn two? And instead, the inning continues. Here's a first pitch pop-up, so it may not matter there as Riley Johnson makes the catch. Rice, an unearned run here in the seventh. Time to stretch in Greenville. Pirates up 3 here in game 1. Welcome back to Greenville, where these standings are all jumbled up. Remember, the top 8 qualify, so FAU all the way through Memphis alive for those final 2 spots. Worth noting, earlier today, Charlotte just got a win a few minutes ago, so they're 12-13 in the league. And Mike, now if you're Rice, I don't want to say must win, but this would be a huge comeback if they pull this off.
Yeah, no, it's an opportunity to control your own destiny, and they do have the head-up tiebreakers in several of those scenarios. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, Rice definitely would like to get at least one this weekend.
Joey Barini leads off the bottom of the 7th for the Pirates, who are a game up on UTSA tonight for first place. And Barini rockets one to second, a hard hit first out. Also worth noting, UTSA is putting on an old-fashioned clinic offensively. 14-1 about to run roll FAU tonight.
Tell you what, back at our game, Parker Smith has done an amazing job of extending his outing and giving his bullpen every chance in the world to kind of save bullets.
Keep in mind, a doubleheader tomorrow. And to your point, Parker Smith, 70 pitches and counting, 78 officially. And Cunningham pops this one up off the end of his bat. And a rare 0 for 4 night for Carter Cunningham.
You know, in the quick innings like this, and I'm sure we'll have an effort here to extend this inning by Riley Johnson with maybe see a pitch or two. And
you don't think a 4-pitch inning's coming?
No, I would be willing to bet against it. But you know, it's these short innings certainly help Parker Smith in his calls.
Here's Riley Johnson, who's now reached base in 43 straight games. He was hit by a pitch in his opening at bat. And how about the efficiency of Parker Smith? Basically 10 pitches an inning.
Yeah, he got off schedule a little bit earlier on, but managed to get himself back to where he needs to be, and very manageable number.
Here's the 0-1. Johnson, who slides down to the 2-hole here for East Carolina. And those 5 earned runs don't necessarily tell the story. Really, one big swing from Jenkins Coward. That's been the difference. You also got a quick look there at Margaret DeBrule, one of our camera ops.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. She's on it.
Fantastic crew working tonight, led by Mike Miles and Kyle Gaskins operating the controls. Here's the 2-1. Cliff Godwin looking to empower his home faithful here. Final weekend of the regular season and a tight one here in game 51. Here's strike 2.
Trying to make Parker Smith throw every pitch that can possibly make him throw in this inning.
Only the second 3-2 count of the game for Parker Smith. He's been really efficient. And he gets the backwards K. So Riley Johnson goes down looking, and he's scoreless 7th for the ace of the Rice staff. We got a good one here through 7. A pitcher's duel in Greenville.
We call it drive. The unrelenting desire to become the person you were born to be. Ignited by a moment. The realization that a future you could only dream of is within reach. At East Carolina University, you won't just imagine a path. You'll forge one through hard work and the success that comes without surrender. The journey that leads to your future. And this is where it begins.
Welcome back to Greenville. We're a loaded state of college baseball. North Carolina, number 5 in RPI, You look up and down the state, 10 different teams between North and South Carolina, and all 10 of those I think are pretty locks. Maybe Charleston a borderline, but 9 of the 10 pretty surefire NCAA tournament teams. As his first pitch from Trayton Rank is lined out to center.
Yeah, it's been really impressive and well documented throughout the season. The unbelievable level of college baseball in the kind of mid-Atlantic region, and that RPI is certainly an example of it. And there's, for those that don't really understand the RPI, which is probably most people, and I don't want to make it a little more simple. It's your wins and losses, and then your opponent's records, and then your opponent's record. So it's kind of goes 3 layers deep based on who you play and how everybody you play does. I think that's about as simple as you can put it.
A big part of that, too, is who you play and how they're playing. East Carolina, #1 non-conference strength of schedule, which really holds up. Here they are in the American Conference. 3 wins from a regular season title as Ethan Norby works in a strike.
If you really dive down into the minutia of it, it also calculates in, is it a home game? Is it a road game? I mean, there's just a lot of things that go into kind of what the culmination of those numbers are, and those numbers are but a part of the postseason thought process.
Working ahead on Jack Rydell, who hits one hard into the shift, and that's Joey Barini for the second out. There is a certain level of confidence from this true freshman. Very impressive in year 1.
Yeah, and we've seen him kind of grow. Like, he kind of had some rough starts or rough outings early in his start here at East Carolina, but he has certainly settled in, and we've seen him really, really good multiple times. Kind of interesting in the choice to use him in this role today. He would have been one that I would have thought you would potentially see start one of these games, but.
And it shows how urgent this game 1 is if you're Cliff Godwin.
Yeah, you got to go right at it and get this win.
Because UTSA is about to run rule FAU to move into a game of first. How about Norby? 3 up, 3 down in the blink of an eye.
Pretty quick inning. That's what the Pirates needed.
The true freshman, very quick work here in the 8th. His Pirate Club comes to the plate when we return to Greenville. Welcome back to Greenville. This game summary brought to you by our friends at Grady White Boats. Trey Savage in line for his 11th win of the year. That would be tied for the best in the country. Meanwhile, Parker Smith, good numbers, 7 innings, 5 runs. He's kept his Rice team in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a very blue-collar effort out there to eat up these innings and keep it competitive. It only a 3-run lead, and Pirates would love to tack onto that here. But, yeah, I was kind of a little bit surprised to see him come back out, but I think Coach Cruz and staff are going to ride with him as long as he's being effective. And last inning, he was.
Just 85 pitches for Parker. He's gone 7 innings or more now in 3 AAC starts, including a huge win against top 25 Louisiana Lafayette back in February.
It's a good win.
That's a team dominating the Sun Belt right now, which is a really good league. 5th best RPI in the country, the Sun Belt. Coastal, Troy, and ULL, great prohibitive tournament teams. As Ryan McChrystal fouls off the 0-1.
You know, an interesting Coastal's had their share of struggles this year and kind of been up and down. And you know, we talked about Campbell and the teams that are familiar to East Carolina fans. It's just been kind of a little bit of a crazy year between injuries and really competitive baseball. I mean, you put the two together and it can upset your plans.
We've noted the 10 top 50 programs. What Wilmington's done with Randy Hood, now leading the CAA. Impressive year. And here's Cliff Godwin's team in position to host a regional if they continue this hot start. Right now, they're in a race for the regular season title with UTSA, the Roadrunners. As Smith goes breaking ball. Sharp base hit for Ryan McChrystal, his second hit of the day.
You know, just before that pitch was delivered, I was going to mention the super aggressive shift that Rice was in with 3 infielders on the right side of the bag and Motley, the third baseman, playing almost pinched in the middle again. And you'll see positioning wasn't bad. That ball's just hit on the button and past a diving Motley, the third baseman, playing short. And kind of interesting, he lays out for that ball and then has to get up and hustle back to third and make sure he's got his bag covered.
So Ryan McChrystal will get a breather for the rest of the night. Luke Nowak, the pitch runner. He's out of Wisconsin. Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin. I've never been there. Got to add that to my bucket list. I've been to Appleton, I've been to Green Bay, been to Milwaukee, but never been up there. Here's Jacob Starling up with nobody out. And a good slider there for Parker Smith.
You've got your RBI leader on deck, and you know Coach Godwin would love to get that runner into scoring position.
Does that open up the bunt here possibly? We'll see. Starling takes ball 1.
Showed bunt on the first one, and in that one, no sign at all that he was going to lay one down.
Cliff Godwin, who has a score sheet about as complicated as a Gordon Ramsay menu, always puts pressure on an opposing defense. 42 sack bunts for the Pirates this year. This time Starling swings and pops it up. Rank drifting. Runs out of room.
That just does catch the top of the protective netting over there. And you're right. He's another couple feet of foul territory and he collects that one easily. We've seen this Pirate offense have some success tonight putting guys in motion. We've seen run and hit. We've seen hit and run. And when you have a strike thrower like Parker Smith is, you know, he's around the zone, it kind of opens that part of your offense up for you.
Here's the 1-2. Starling fights it off.
Nowak at first base. Yet another one of these guys that can really run.
Nowak will run the start, replacing Riley Johnson in Game 3 on Sunday. He's now in the pitch run for McChrystal. Here's the 1-2 again. Oh, that hits Starling. He's fired up.
Does the job for him.
And 2 on with nobody out.
That's the second time tonight we've seen Starling hit by a pitch. We saw it back in the 4th inning as well. And that will bring up the aforementioned Jenkins Coward, who leads the team at RBIs. You know, another thing that gives Coach Godwin the flexibility to potentially lay a bunt down or not lay a bunt down is the fact that all these guys can run. So it's going to be fairly difficult to double any of them up.
And with that bat flip from Starling, he sort of brings off those Randy Orton vibes in WWE. He pumps up a crowd every time he's in the box. And here's Jacob Starling. Who this time takes ball 1. The RBI leader in the American Athletics, 63 runs batted in.
Jenkins Coward had that 3-run home run back in the 4th.
The Rally pork chops that'll be discussed all night here in Greenville. So that one's fouled off. Provided by our friends in the jungle. A rare sight for Rice tonight, action in the bullpen. That's Mark Perkins warming up. Here's the 1-1. And you see the frustration there from JJC.
You know, and that is something that this Pirate offense top to bottom takes a lot of pride in, is being able to execute the small ball game when it's, you know, when it's asked of them. So you saw that there. Now a little middle reset and go back at it with a solid 2-strike approach.
So here's the 1-2 count. A patient take.
Jenkins Coward, not a guy that draws a lot of walks, only 18 and 210 at bats, but has pretty elite bat ball skills. A guy that, you know, that barrels up a lot of pitches.
Now the 2-2 and a filthy breaking ball gets Jenkins Coward to chase. That's strikeout number 4 for Parker Smith.
Yeah, pretty good breaking ball there by Parker Smith. Kind of buried that thing in on the back foot of the left-hander and swings right over the top of it.
Parker Smith, who has eaten up innings for this Rice bullpen. Remember, doubleheader tomorrow with rain in the forecast Saturday. There's Dixon Williams, and he takes strike 1.
Dixon with the 3-0 knock last time, double to score a run. 2 for 2 on the night.
Here comes pitch, a 100, and that's in for a strike. This place has gone real quiet all of a sudden. The tense 8th inning. And a miss for ball 1.
Yeah, I think we are seeing Parker Smith kind of come to the end of his night. He's lost a little juice here, and again, what an effort he's given this Rice club.
Here's the 1-2. Big swing and a miss.
And just say that he finds a way to get it underneath Williams' hands for strike 3.
Give Parker Smith a ton of credit. He has stepped up when his team needs it.
I mean, he really has. And again, every time you kind of count him out, he finds a way to get up off the mat. And that bullpen now has been set down, and obviously, unless this thing goes to the bottom of the 9th, this would be Parker Smith's last guy of the evening.
Wilcox in the left. This is deep and on. The 2-out rallies continue for East Carolina.
It is incredible what they've done with 2 outs throughout the entirety of the season, and we've seen it a couple times tonight. But Wilcox with a nice job of driving the ball to left field and out of the park, and the left fielder gave all that he could give in the effort and actually lost his glove over the wall out there, but just ran out of real estate.
What a 2-out swing. His 13th bomb of the year.
Yeah, it's pitched down and away, and again, just does a good job staying on it. You'll see the left fielder go back and just runs out of territory, and off goes the glove, and a souvenir. Of course, the fans have to give the glove back.
They don't have to give the baseball back. And you see the scramble for the ball up there in the jungle. 2 outs now for Bristol Carter. And what a difference the home run has made for the Pirates tonight. 3-run homers for Jacob Jenkins Coward and now Justin Wilcoxon.
Yeah, and a lot more comfortable feel if you're a Pirate with an 8-2 lead heading into the 9th.
Here's the 1-0. So that's half the runs tonight with 2 outs for the Pirates, 4 of the 8. UTSA is a few outs away from a run rule win, so East Carolina looks to answer and maintain a 1-game lead. So now the 2-1, 105 pitches and counting as Parker Smith grinds through this inning.
They got somebody up playing toss a little bit, but I can't imagine there's any thought of making any kind of changes regardless of the outcome of Bristol Carter.
The 2-2. Carter to short. There's Rydell. And let's go to the 9th here in Greenville. A power stroke from Justin Wilcoxon, putting up his resume tape for an all-AAC year behind the plate as the Pirates now lead by 6. Welcome back to the 9th. It's a busy day in the American Athletic. Right now, Ethan Norby looks to close out this 9th inning. Worth noting in that race for 8th place, Tulane and Charlotte. Charlotte with a chance to doubleheader sweep Tulane and put themselves in the tournament. And South Florida, who's a game back of Rice for the final spot, about to drop another contest. This is a huge 9th inning for the Rice Owls tournament hopes, as Ethan Norby, who's one of the faster working pitchers in this Pirate staff, falls behind 3-0.
You know, and this is absolutely not what you want. Obviously, Gallo at the plate been the most productive Owl all night, but certainly don't want to fall behind and then issue a 4-pitch pass to a guy when you got a 6-run lead in the 9th inning. It's the kind of thing that just makes coaches lose their hair.
That's the 5th walk for this Pirate staff. Because right now in the standings, these are the latest updated rankings. Charlotte in a really good spot now with 12 wins. If you're Rice, FAU, UAB, you get to 12 or 13 and you're most likely in the tournament.
You know, and Charlotte is one of those teams. It's a fairly talented team, and even going back to when we had them here with East Carolina, they realized that the first part of their season was an opportunity for them to kind of gel and get to know each other. So that's a team, and you know, you've alluded to it numerous times, that they could be dangerous in the tournament, that the talent is there. It's a solid ball club, and as they continue to gel and kind of figure out where the pieces belong, they've been playing much better baseball.
Keep in mind tomorrow a doubleheader. It's the 3rd home series in conference play for the Pirates that have had a doubleheader mixed in. This time of year, Mother Nature always plays a factor.
I think that conversation with Coach Knight probably was something to the tune of, man, you're facing 7, 8, 9. We don't want to flip this line up. Let's get these guys.
So Norby on pitch 22 misses the zone.
And that's 6 straight for Norby.
Now the 2-0 pitch, way inside to Manny Garza.
And the last thing that the Pirates want to do is use another bullpen arm.
So the 3-0 pitch, and that misses. So 4-pitch walk, back-to-back of those.
Back-to-back, yeah.
And what an ideal start if you're Rice with a pitch hitter coming in. This is Kite McDonald, the grad transfer from Wichita State. And Kite was really good at Wichita State. Second team All AAC last year. Has been in and out of the order here as a grad transfer. He pitch hit in the FAU series, but comes in now with a 277 clip.
He's a guy that does have 3 home runs on the season as well.
That time Norby finds the zone. Here's Norby's 0-1. Oh, and that hits McDonald, so the bases are loaded.
And again, we've talked about it multiple times. That'll bring up Motley, the non-spot guy who we've seen him flip the lineup twice, and this starts to be of concern. You've got outs to give for runs, but they start to become leaner and leaner as the Owls continue to get runners on.
Well, how big now is the 3-run shot by Wilcoxon? 6 of the runs on 2 big swings for the Pirates. And Motley fouls one off.
And the guy that I would certainly think that the Pirates didn't want to have to use tonight looks like he's up and throwing in the pen, and that's Danny Bill.
So the 0-1. There's strike 2. The Savage went 5 2/3. Groller and Winter got 2 outs. And it's been Norby's game since. Now the 0-2. He almost hits Motley.
Just about hit him, yeah.
You almost wonder if you're Motley there, get hit by that
Well,
pitch.
no, that's exactly what you're saying, and I'm sure his dugout just told him he needs to wear it. But that's a freshman, too. He's kind of figuring this thing out, and that would have been an easy run scored.
So instead, the 1-2 pitch, lined, double play chance.
Triple play if he looked to the backside.
And Starling does secure the double play.
Boy, he had the triple play all day, didn't he? He had the first base. The runner from first base was about 1/3 of the way there, and Starling looks at third looking for that out. We'll see it right here. Line drive right to Barini. Pretty headsy play. He knows he's got the 1, and then here's the 2, and I don't know if you can pick up the runner from first, and Starling realizes, like, hey, man, no worries. We'll take 2.
Big sigh of relief if you're Norby in this pen as he hits another batter. Wow, how this game really could have changed there if Motley gets a double or if he gets hit on the last at bat.
No question. See another breaking ball here from Norby that just kind of nicks the hitter, kind of just enough of the shirt to constitute a hit by pitch, and that brings up the gritty Ben Dukes, who's been held quiet all night, and that's something that makes you a little nervous.
0 for 4 night for Dukes as he takes a strike. Ben Dukes, who leads this lineup, 368 average in conference play, with a Bryce Harper type beard and an old school look as he works a 1-1 count.
Well, you could be guaranteed one thing: you're going to get a tough at bat out of Dukes, and that's his calling card. And we have seen that all night. He's got nothing to show for it, but he certainly will fight in the box.
The 1-1. Dukes on the ground. Starling, the scoop, and the Game 1 win. East Carolina snaps a 5-game losing streak. 2 wins away from a regular season title.
Yeah, definitely not as smooth and easy as they would have liked to seen it close out. And the Pirates pretty well in control most of the night, and got a little bit sloppy there with Norby, and multiple hit by pitch and kind of troubles throwing strikes. So it's got a little bit of a jagged feel to it, but it's a win nonetheless.
Trey Savage tied for the nation's lead now, 11 wins in 5 2/3 of work. And how about the swings tonight for Jacob Jenkins-Coward and Wilcoxon winning?
2 big 3-run bombs, and again, 2 outscoring out of this Pirate offense, something that we've talked about an awful lot with this club all year. And again, offensively, they put together the kind of night they had to have off of a really game Parker Smith, who gave his club what they needed, and that was an extended outing and a saving of the bullpen. So we'll see how that plays into tomorrow and how it all shakes out. As again, we've got a full day of baseball with a doubleheader here at Clark LeClaire Stadium.
2:30 starts that doubleheader tomorrow. It's the final day of the regular season for these two programs. Power the difference for the Pirates tonight. 38th win of the year and maintaining a 1-game lead over UTSA in the AAC standings. For Mike Mullis and our talented crew, Trey Savage earns win 11. He now leads the nation in wins as he takes the bow for Pirate Nation. Thanks for joining us here in Greenville. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for a doubleheader. This is a presentation of ESPN.